Cursed is the one who trusts in human beings. Happy Valentine's Day. There's a deep wisdom, though, about love here. And it's revealed just a little bit later in this very same reading. Blessed is the one who trusts in the Lord. One of the most difficult negotiations in life is the negotiation between dependence and independence in any relationship. Most of us are on that spectrum somewhere, and most of the time we fall more likely to one side or to the other. Today's readings are addressed mostly to us who tend to fall on the dependent side. One of the earliest temptations in life is to give another human being too much power, to cling to another too tightly, to find ourselves velcroed to another in love, to obsess about where they are and what they're doing and who they're with. It's one thing to miss someone in our day. It is another to only and mostly think about them. We all have seen it in others. This other is all they talk about. And they seem to be nowhere unless somewhere with him or her. Likely we've all been there, done that along the way. Sexual attraction seems to aggravate that tension the most. One thing I know, this doesn't feel like freedom. Oh, it has its pleasures. It has its satisfactions. Yet it's intrinsically insecure. And it can become toxic so quickly. It is not very attractive in us or in anybody else. And it actually hurts the ones we loved before this man or woman came along in our lives. And the result? Drama. Too much drama. Not fun anymore. Icky. For a relationship to succeed, for both of us, for us to be well together, a relationship absolutely needs to have an absolutely higher power than itself. That's what Jeremiah is telling us in this first reading today. The tough message of this Valentine morning is that it is absolutely essential in every relationship of our lives that there be a power higher than this person, higher than this relationship, this other person with whom I am in love. Whether I want to admit it to myself or not, there has to be a higher power, a power higher than he is to me or she is for me. If that is not true, then I will likely make this other person a god. I will give her or him too much power. More power than a finite, limited, flawed, mortal human being can bear or is even meant to bear. We have to be able to live with a person, and we have to be able to live without a person. That's freedom. It doesn't mean it won't hurt like hell to lose them. But it does mean I will have the assurance inside myself that I will somehow manage to be okay, enough, happy even, without them. To get there, to get to this place of freedom, much has to be risked. I have to honor and never stop honoring their freedom, and even somehow manage to give them freedom from me. Freedom from me. Freedom to be about the other friendships in their life and about the rest of their lives. And that will take some suffering. Suffering under the title, Letting Go. Sometimes that will come down to being willing to say the difficult thing to him or her, even knowing that if I say that, they'll probably be really, really mad at me. Or holding back on sometimes what I so immediately and intensely want, which can be time or touch. Time with my friend or more intimate touch. The suffering might be holding back a little bit from those cravings. A little bit. This is where those awful Beatitudes that you just heard described in Luke take shape for us, where the tire hits the road. If we are in a relationship of any worth, and we constantly grab for the gusto, cling like our life depends on it and our happiness, then we will pay the piper. Down the road, someday we will pay the piper for this, mark my words. It may be okay for a time, even right now, but it will eventually explode in both of our faces. Listen to Luke's clear warning in today's gospel. Woe to you who are rich now, who are full now, who are happy now, because someday you will be poor, and you will be hungry, and you will weep. Better, he is saying, to make the tough choices today, now, to learn how to be well when she's not here with me, happy when he is away from me. Take the long view and make the tough choices now, Luke is telling us. And you will be so grateful. You will be so grateful that you did, even though there will be a risk and a vulnerability in that very choice. Better to lose him or her now than to cling so tightly that both of you are miserable down the road. Then we'll get it. Then we'll get what Luke is trying to tell us in this gospel. We'll begin to understand what he's saying when he writes, "Blessed are you who are poor now, who are willing now, today, to abide this absence of time or touch, to abide this empty place today where they are not, or where their affirmation or connection is not always happening for us. Blessed are you who are hungry now, not stuffed, not bloated with this other person, not stuffed and bloated with this other human being. Blessed are you who are weeping now, who get it, that this person is not a God, can never be a God, can never be my higher power, because that's more weight than they can bear. And remember that they're finite and limited and mortal, and therefore they will disappoint me, fail me, and even leave me someday in death, or for another job, or for a different grad school. It's Valentine's Day, and it falls at the cusp of Lent. Maybe during these Lenten days, You and I can learn to support each other, to make the tough choices, to live without something today that might make us better together tomorrow. Maybe during Lent we can encourage each other toward a healthy and holy living and loving right now. It's Valentine's Day. Are you free tonight?